CarPro PERL, a detailing classic or perhaps past its sell-by date? Let's discuss. Hello and welcome back to the Golf Diaries. My name's Mark, and if you're into all things VW and detailing, hopefully you're in the right place. Now, if being old was a guarantee of quality, then frankly there'd be days that I would feel priceless. But does being a classic actually mean it's good? Well, that's the question I'm asking today of this CarPro PERL. Now, PERL has been around for an absolute age, and I think it's fair to say that most detailers out there will have at least been tempted to try it in the past. Now, PERL, P-E-R-L, stands for plastic, engine, rubber and leather. So as you can tell by that, it's a very flexible product designed for a multitude of uses. It's a water-based SiO2 infused product that basically beautifies and protects all those things I just mentioned. Primarily, for most of us, the plastic and the rubber around your car. So I guess the question is, does it hold its own against newer products from other brands? Now, I've been using this product for 8 years, so I think it's fair to say that clearly I've found a use for it, and I do quite enjoy using it. I find it good value for money, etc. And we'll get into all that in a second. But recently I have found myself thinking, am I going to carry on using it? When this bottle's gone, am I actually going to carry on using it? And I'll explain why in a second. Now, the product is highly dilutable, and for that I use the CarPro Dilute bottle, just because, I don't know why really, just because it's CarPro. I like to keep brands together if I can. It just helps my simple mind. But also it does have, I'm not sure the camera's going to pick it up from this distance, but it does have some nice kind of measuring points out here for the various dilutions. Now, one quick thing on this bottle, this is not the original trigger spray. The original trigger spray in the CarPro bottle, unless they've changed it, I just found absolutely lousy. It lasted a couple of months and then it just wouldn't work. So I think I took this off an old garage therapy bottle and I've put it on there. Now, in terms of how you dilute it, and I will just have to check my notes because, again, numbers, it's numbers every time. They just confuse me. So basically, you can have it a 1 to 3 dilution for exterior plastics. And then you can have it for anything between a 1 to 1 and a 1 to 3 for engine bay plastics and rubbers. 1 to 1 for tyres. I don't ever use it for tyres, and I'll explain why in a second. And then 1 to 5 for interior vinyl and leather. So given those dilutions, a 500ml bottle, this is not a 500ml bottle, but a 500ml bottle can give you anything kind of 2, maybe even up to 2.5 litres, 3 litres of product. And it's reasonably priced. I don't tend to give prices on YouTube videos anymore because they just go out of date really quickly, but it is reasonably priced. At time of recording, it was $11.95 for 500ml. So when you consider you can get 2 to 3 litres, depending on dilution ratio out of that, then that's pretty good value. So how does it apply? Well, a little bit like this. So first of all, clean the surface. I'm doing this on the Rivage grille. It was already clean, so I didn't need to clean it again for the purposes of this video. But yeah, definitely clean the surface and make sure it's a fresh base to put the product onto. So you can either spray directly onto the plastic in this case, or you can use an applicator and then wipe it off the excess. So as I said earlier, the dilution can be strengthened if you want a shinier finish, so it is very adaptable. And a little, again, does go a long way. Now, I'm showing you here both first of all, the just spray it on and then wipe it off technique, followed by the microfiber applicator. And out of the two, I'm a big fan of the microfiber applicator. Whilst spraying it on, you do get into all the nooks and crannies perhaps a little bit easier. You then also can potentially get drips and things like that down onto your paintwork. It doesn't hurt if it goes onto your paintwork, but I find it best just to try and keep it off paintwork wherever possible. Now with tyres, it's recommended, I should say, that you do 2 passes on each tyre, about 20 minutes apart. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I don't use it on the tyres. I tried it a couple of times many years back and just decided it wasn't for me. And I will kind of come back to why I use it the way I use it very shortly, because that is what's making me question whether I actually need this product anymore. So hopefully you could see from that application on the Rivage grille that it applies pretty much like most other similar products on the market, and it claims to have up to 3 months durability. I'll be honest, I've never seen that. I kind of get 2 months. I mean, on the cars in the garage here, yes, you can get way more than three months, but on daily drivers and cars that are out in all weathers, the most I've ever seen is 2 months, and that's on plastic trim. Tyres, after I tried it a couple of times, I mean, it felt like days. It just didn't do it for me with tyres at all. But yeah, you can see on plastic trim, if it's lasting a couple of months at a time, you know, that 2 to 3 litres is going to last you a fair old while. So actually, even though I've been using this product for 8 years and I've got 5 cars to look after, I don't think I've actually bought that many bottles. It really does last a long time, and it's got a good long shelf life as well. So you know, it'll happily sit in the shelf if you on the shelf, I should say, if you store it correctly out of direct sunlight in a kind of room temperature environment. It'll sit on the shelf for some considerable amount of time. A good tester of the product actually is on my Defender. Now, if you imagine the back of looking at the back of a Land Rover Defender, you've got those big old mud flaps. All I tend to do is every couple of months, and this is a daily, almost daily driven vehicle. It's out in all weathers, 24/7. I will spray it with this, and literally just spray it and just leave it and just let it dry naturally. Don't even bother wiping the excess off. It dries to a really nice kind of satin, very level finish, and you can see the water beading on the mud flaps, and mud and crud just doesn't seem to stick to the mud flaps anywhere near as much as it would do on untreated rubber. So I have to say, in that respect, it is a very good product, and it's proven itself time and time again. So why am I standing here saying I'm not sure whether I'm ever going to buy it again? Well, let me explain. So there's 2 main reasons why I'm undecided whether, as good a product as it has been for me over the past 8 years, whether I'm going to buy Pearl again. So the first one is, as regulars to the channel will know, I'm a big Garage Therapy fan, and Garage Therapy have fairly recently, that's probably about a year or so ago now, brought out their own trim, which is on the face of it a very similar product in terms of usage scenarios to Pearl. So of course the fanboy in me is going to go and try the Garage Therapy product after this, but it's going to have to go some for me to even continue buying that, for the simple reason, maybe I'm overly simple. By all means comment, it's absolutely fine, I've got thick skin. Maybe I'm a little bit simple, but I actually quite like having products that are designed to do a specific job. If I'm going to do tyres, then I will reach for Garage Therapy Tyre Serum or G-Technique tyre dressing, which I recently did a video on. I'll stick a link to that down below. If I'm going to do internal plastics, internal dashes and so on, Garage Therapy Dash Serum or Auto Glands Mist. For rubber floor mats, Koshimi Gummy Fix. That's something I should say, don't put Pearl on rubber floor mats, seriously. I had a very irate wife when I put Pearl on the rubber floor mats, and she went out the next day and almost crashed the car because her foot just slipped straight off when she tried to brake. Do not put Pearl on rubber floor mats. It is a slippery finish, and that's on me because I should have put 2 and 2 together. SiO2 is going to have, yeah, anyway. So Koshimi Gummy Fix for floor mats. So engine plastics and rubbers. Koshimi Motorplast. It's got anti-corrosive properties in it as well. I could continue. You get the idea. Leather coat from Geon or Geist, which I'm really impressed with Geist actually. So again, I'll put a link to the review I did of Geist down below. So that's the thing. There's so many good products on the market now for every part of the car. We're spoilt. This is our hobby, could be your profession, but we are spoilt. We have got an amazing array of products to choose from. So why would you choose a product that does some things very well, does other things not so well, and frankly, in my opinion, is pretty awful at others? Tyres. So it makes no sense to me. So if I was to buy this product again, it wouldn't be for every surface known to man. It would be very much for what I think it's best for, which is the trim and the plastic trim and rubber trim around windows and so on around your car. So, and there's dedicated products for that, and I've tried many of them over the last year, and to be fair, some of them are easily as good as this. So I think Pearl, maybe a little bit unkind to call it a kind of jack of all trades, master of none, because it's up there with the best, I think, in my opinion anyway, for plastic trim around the car. I just think it is a little bit middle of the road for some other elements that it's designed for, and I certainly wouldn't put it on leather at all. I tried in a small little sample of leather on my Land Rover yonks ago, and it just didn't feel nice, and it didn't look particularly nice either. But so no, it's a good product. I just feel that it's a bit of a one-trick pony these days. When it came out 8 years ago, it was fantastic. Great value for money, nice and flexible. You get all your IK sprayers out, or your bottle of choice, and you have all your various dilutions, and you feel like a chemist when you're, mad scientist while you're making all these dilutions and all these little potions. But then I just thought, nah, I don't want to do that anymore. I want a proper product that's the best in its class, and that's one of the beauties of doing this YouTube channel. I get the chance to test lots of different products and decide what my keepers are, what are best in class. So where there are so many great products, I just don't think this cuts it anymore. I know that's going to upset some people. Some people love this. I feel like I'm cheating on a friend when I say this, because it's been 8 years. It's been a great relationship, but no more. So yeah, horses for courses, not a jack of all trades. But just one moment. Just because it's not for me doesn't mean it might not be for you. The thing is with this product is it is great value for money. I think what I've already talked about kind of explains that quite well. So if you are looking for a product where you can use it on so many surfaces around the car and do it in a cheap, long-lasting, apart from tyres, a long-lasting manner, then it could do a job for you. So I think, perhaps I'm being a little bit disingenuous to it. That's a good word, disingenuous. That just popped in my head. So maybe I'm being a little bit unfair to it when I say that it's not for me, but it's just not. I've found better options for each of its jobs. But yeah, if you are looking for that kind of slightly simpler approach to detailing, or you're on a budget, or whatever the kind of case may be, then it can do a job for you. So just because it's not for me doesn't mean it's not for you. And that's the thing. Whenever you watch not just this channel, but all the great detailing channels on YouTube, it's always worth bearing in mind that what we do and the way we use the product is going to be different from the way you use it, and our expectations are going to be different to yours, and our usage scenarios, everything's different. So all we can do is tell you how we find it in our usage scenarios, and yeah, that's not the royal we, I mean YouTube as a whole. So yeah, don't dismiss it completely, but no, not for me. So that's it from me. I tried to keep this one pretty short. There is a whole raft of stuff coming to the channel, and a lot of that is going to be based around the Rivage, which is basically sat between you and I right now. So I'm kind of looking down at the Rivage here. So there's lots of really cool content coming on the Rivage, and lots of car shows, and also some really cool products coming in. There's one from Sonax that I definitely want to run by you, because I think it's a really good product. And also I might be playing with wax again. So stay tuned. Until next time, take care. Bye for now.